Alright, y'all. May not be the greatest of camera views here, but just want to make a video. This is clipped up on the sun visor, the GoPro is, and I just want to kind of show y'all how I drive this truck. I'm not sure if all of them are like this or not. This is the Eaton UltraShift, which is a automatic over manual. So we're in drive now. If I'm pulling off the leg or something like that, I will put it in low, but right now we are just plain old drive. Now with these automatics, they're designed a couple things in mind. One thing being easier for people to drive, just you know, like a big car, putting it in drive, and you know, big trucking companies like them because they can fill seats with them, because it's easier to teach somebody how to drive an automatic than it is to learn how to change gears. Another thing, they are designed mainly for fuel mileage. Being automatic, you know, you don't have drivers, you know, running in low gear with high RPMs burning extra fuel. But you know, running lightweight is probably okay, but you know, running heavier stuff like wood and all, we got a load of logs on now. A lot of times, you know, when you're trying to run a hill or something, it'll upshift when you don't want it to. So I'll run it in manual mode from time to time, and I'll show y'all what that looks like. The good thing about it, you know, you can switch from manual to drive, you know, going up the road, not reverse or anything like that, or you know, low range. But if you start in low, then you can move to manual or to drive from low range, but you can't go down. It's just it would be the same thing as, you know, going up the road in a manual at a, you know, say you're in high range, you're in 6th gear, and then you try to shove it back down into, you know, 1st gear, low takeoff gear. It's not going to work. Same thing with the manual. You can skip gears, you know, shifting up or down shifting sometimes, you know, and you come up to something like that, you can, you know, just roll and go into the gear you want to go in and not have to go down each individual gear. The automatic is not like that. If you run it in manual and downshift, you've got to let the truck go down each individual gear. Running it in drive, sometimes it will downshift 2 or 3 gears at a time. If you're rolling up, it'll, you know, click them down and you know, start back in 2nd, which is the normal takeoff gear for this truck, if you're running it in drive. But for manual, it won't do that. I mean, it'll choke out and cut off. There we go. I was giving it extra fuel, you know, just going up this hill, and it upshifts into 8th right there, when I didn't want it to. So just one of the things that are different. I grew up driving manual. That's all I ever drove till I got this truck. Now we got a hill coming up. We'll put it in manual now, so it'll stay in 8th gear. That's what I usually run this hill with down here. And it's one of those things that I hope nobody's coming, because if there is, then
if you were in a truck and stuff with one of those letterbox radios, it made you sound like you had your heat up with.
And there we have the wonderful mud duck in the desert on the radio. He really needs to get a hobby. But anyway, this is the downhill part. I'll just let the Jake work. Not sure if you can hear the Jake with using this Bluetooth. It's usually noise canceling. I'll cut the jig off of it right here. Luckily nobody's coming, so here we are. Seven, 6, 7. Even running in manual, you know, being computerized, I'll switch back to drive along in here. Being computerized, it has to be down to a certain RPM before it'll let it, you know, downshift, even in manual mode. Same thing with upshift. Running in manual mode, you can get a little more out of your upshift because you can tack it up to 20, 21, something like that, where you want it to be, so you can, you know, carry a little more power into it. Where running it in auto mode drive, it upshifts at about 1600. Yep, 16 there, 16 there. Like I said, it's good for you know, fuel mileage, but sometimes you need a little extra power when you upshift, you know, like on a little small hill or something. It ups at about 16, and I'd let you downshift at about 13, maybe 14, but definitely got to be below 15, somewhere 12, 13 RPM, something like that. Driving manual trucks, a lot of times, you know, I would run them in whatever gear, you know, 15, 18, you know, 1800 RPMs is pretty good. Cruising range where you had, you know, plenty of power, you wasn't lugging the truck or anything like that, but like I said, running it in drive, it's going to shift at 16 every time, you know, whether you need to or not. But all in all, I like it pretty decent. Like I said, it is a learning curve as compared to what I'm used to, but that's to be expected. This one still has a clutch down here, so we take off and everything. And it's basically the same transmission as a 10-speed manual. It just has, you know, the automatic shifter. It works off of air. So it seems like to me that that'd be a pretty tough transmission, because we've run 10-speed manuals pretty much every truck we've had except that one Peterbilt with 18, and had pretty good luck with them. They seem to hold up pretty good. They're not my favorite transmission, but personally I like a 13 or 18 better. Looking up on the website, they do have, you know, 13 and 18s of these UltraShift or auto over manual or whatever you want to call them. You know, I wish this one was a 13. If you had a little more gear range, it would probably work pretty good if you had more gear range, because it's easier for it to, you know, upshift and still have more power, you know. But it's a 10, so we gotta live with what we got here. Like I said, if you were pulling light loads like a van trailer like this guy passing me, probably still be fine. But you know, this wood is a little bit heavier. Usually it's, you know, between 80 and 85,000. Sometimes it can be more than that. The heaviest I've hauled, which wasn't intentional, it just happens sometimes, it was 101,000. But it, you know, it didn't pull any harder than 92,000. But anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed that. Maybe you learned something if you're not familiar with these transmissions, or, you know, whatever. I've had this I don't know, 7, 8 months now, something like that. So definitely learned a lot more now than, you know, the first week of having it and driving it. So anyway, that's all I got for this one.